Okay. It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. And it's Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. February. Wow. April 7th, AD 2025. And what? We're going to have a fun loosey-goosey The Hake Report show, as you can already tell, perhaps. TheHakeReport.com. I will be taking your calls if you'd like to call in. Wow, it's bright. Who knew that it was so bright? Okay, cool. I'm live on X, Facebook, and etc. You know, people are encouraging and applauding and defending angry violence. Angry violence. Violence over pride, too. It's not like justified violence. Like, you know, Kyle, Jack Bauer, John Wick Rittenhouse was at that protest, that riot, really, in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He was justified in defending himself from the Antifa attackers. But there are people who are just getting disrespected, and then they lash out. And then the people defend the people who lash out. And I get that knowing that people are lashing out nowadays, people, like, you know, for example, over the N-word, knowing that they overreact to it, it would be wise not to be saying it to the blacks, you know? It would be wise not to say it in front of them. So, of course, you're responsible. You kind of bring things on yourself if you get attacked by, physically attacked by somebody. But I saw this video of this pro-life woman who is not for aborsh, killing the babies in the womb. A woman of color, looked like a light-skinned black gal, got with glasses on. She got punched in the face. You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? Oh, but this other black woman, I guess she was. I forget what she was. Light-skinned, maybe, too. Portly. Punched this, sucker punched, kind of. You know, it was right in the face, so it's not. But it was like over a little argument. You know, these pro-lifers and pro-abortion people, they're running their mouths. Got smacked in the face, and in the comments I'm reading these people saying, oh, that's what happens when you talk spicy with a New Yorker. Crazy, huh? Crazy. Shout out to James K. Not this James K. Not James Worthy. Hey, I'm live on punchy.tv/Hake, by the way. For the tip on that, I might show that clip to you. Cover your eyes, faint of heart, because she bloodied her face. I think because of the glasses. You know, she was wearing glasses, literal glasses. Whew. Assault and battery, honestly. Hopefully she gets charged, the woman who did the attacking. Anyway, thank you, Anchor Baby, helping me get my show stuff together over here so that we can make things presentable and functional over here on the Hake Report. It's a busy show today, by the way. I mean, it's a busy day today, honestly. You will be, if you keep up with us, you're going to see some fun stuff today. Joelle Friday is coming. Oh, my Lord. Joelle Friday. I cranked the volume all the way back up and thinking, no, you know what? I don't like it being all quiet. That's better. That's more like tasteful. Joelle Friday TV, I think it's his 300th episode. If it be the Lord's will, You may see Hake on Joel Friday TV alongside American Anchorman, and Lord knows who else will be on Joel Friday TV today for his 300th. That was 10 times 10. Episode. What? How did he already get to 300 episodes? Lord. So good job, Joel Friday. We'll see if, like I said, if it be the Lord's will, we will do this or that. I will read your super chats. Man, I am remiss. I need to get on my knees and beg, please forgive me. Super chatters. One of them I already knew had come in. Popcorn. I forgot to read Popcorn's book to you guys. Because people are like, he wrote a book about segregation, separation, and how that would work, the ins and outs. Well, it seems to break down when you talk about it practically. I will have to read his super chat soon. Today, hopefully, huh? Look at that beautiful moss. That's Mount Wilson Trail, the waterfalls, I guess you could call it. You can barely see anything waterfall-esque, but, you know, the little creek thing. And other super chats that did come in. And I know that they won't exactly make a lot of sense. I'll have to catch you back up on what happened on Friday or remind you or review. But anyway, guys, let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? He leads me beside cool waters. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He restores my soul. You know how they have these Bible verses from Psalm 23? I still got to read my homework, Psalm 22. Doesn't that look like it would have like a picture of this or a water, or I mean not a water, or a video of it, and then it would have like a Bible verse flash. Isn't that nice? Pretty cool camera work, Hake, right? So nice. The justified violence is a crazy thing. When you could just be chilling. Oh no, upside down shot. What in the world? I take it back. That is not good camera work. All right. What a mess. Let's get things moving, shall we? Lots of stuff in the news today, by the way. Let's see if I can take you there. Oh, by the way, I am wearing a Get a Job shirt. Get a job. So getajob.creator-spring.com. I don't really recommend shopping from Teespring, at least as of this past, late last year. But he does have this stuff for sale. But if you buy it, you may never get it through no fault of Get a Job's. And I'm not Get a Job. But because Teespring stinks. So maybe I should advise Get a Job to start a Printify. Printify seems to be functioning better as a company. I don't know. Maybe Teespring has fixed their situation, but I still haven't got my stuff from October or whenever I ordered it, you know? I got one item and a replacement for that item because they did a bad job the first time. But he does the Jesse Lee Peterson savage moments. So use Teespring/Creator Spring. Use Spring at your own risk, or really not at all is what I recommend. But I do support Get a Job, and you definitely could too. He's not been as active lately because he's busy. He's got stuff he's handling, you know? Anyway. In the news today, over on Commie Nonsense Network, they were talking about the Naval Academy dropping social activist books from Nimitz library. And when I was reading this, they had two from like black females, right? Liberal, communist, sort of divisive, victim-minded black females. But they had one from a Jewish gal, purportedly, memorializing the Holocaust. I'm like, well, maybe, I don't know, is that one bad? Is that one so bad? It is! I'll tell you about it in a second. The U.S. Naval Academy removed 381 books from the Nimitz library, whoever heard of that, to comply with the Trump administration's decision to remove DEI, which is diversity, equity, inclusion, from the federal government, which is a righteous thing to do. You know, the federal government has gotten far left extremist, off the deep end liberal. It's a university library and the Naval Academy in Maryland. Oh, the Naval Academy is the school, duh. It's a Navy school, I guess. And they have the Nimitz library, whatever that is, whoever Nimitz is or was. 381 books removed. Among the texts that cadets are no longer allowed to access, as if you can't go on the internet and get it yourself, are, quote, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. What that has to do with the Navy, I don't know. Good, get it out of there. Maya Angelou, a black female deep poet, woman, gal. Rest in peace. I think she died. Our Time Is Now. Power, Purpose, and the Fight for a Fair America by Stacey Abrams. How do they put Stacey Abrams in that library? I guess in libraries, they just generally stock a whole bunch of whatever junk comes out. They'll just stock it. And Memorializing the Holocaust by Janet Jacobs. But they did not put the whole title of this book. I search it, and it's actually includes a subtitle, Genocide, Gender, Genocide, and the Collective Memory, by this woman who was, by the way, born after the Holocaust, the Holocaust. It won't show the whole thing. Maybe it will. If I go here, Janet J. Oh, look at this. Looks all official and dark. Gender, Genocide, and the Collective Memory. No, I don't want to sign up for your offers. When you're talking about gender and genocide, well, genocide is pretty common for them to talk about with regard to the Holocaust. Although it is a liberal word, I don't like that word. It's an emotionalizing word. Ooh, genocide. To make it sound worse than regular killing. Regular killing is evil. You don't have to just make it sound so much worse by saying genocide. Unjustified killing, of course, right? We're talking about justified, self-defense killing that's acceptable. Collective Memory, that's communist talk, collective, by Janet Jacobs. And she has no memory of it. She has zero memory of it because she was born in 1948. She's in her mid-late 70s. Janet Jacobs? Oh, come on. That's not what I said. Not see, they fill in the Women and Gender Studies, University of Colorado Boulder. This gal, I think this is the gal. Pretty sure. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure because I'm seeing different book titles. Victimized Daughters, Incest in the Development of the Female Self, Hidden Heritage, The Legacy of the Crypto Jews, Memorializing the Holocaust, Gender, Genocide, and the Collective Memory. These are... Here she is. Aw. Oh, you can put her book back in there. I'm kidding. Don't harass her and don't harass her, guys and gals, of course. Professor of Distinction. So yeah, those are fine. Those are fine things to get rid of. I suppose they listed these things because we should feel like that's not right. That's not right. It's not right that those things were in the Nimitz library, I say. Public libraries and librarians are pretty liberal a lot of the time. FYI. So, nice. Nice. The global markets are down with the news, you know. Nice. With the Trump tariffs. Good. We want them to suffer with us. Finally. Because the American people, the little guy, have been suffering like crazy. I heard somebody say, a journalist slash public commentator type of guy on X, that the Trump administration is treating the big corporations, something like that, the way that the China virus scaremongers treated the little normal businesses and people as unessential, not essential. Yeah, fair point. Fair point. Kind of like DEI is not essential. Cutting down the government and cutting down these bloated, spoiled markets. I'm for it. I'm for it. No longer are we just bending over backwards. I'll say backwards, just make it sound cleaner. For the world to take advantage of us, you know, of the country of the United States, you know? It's terrible. So I say the tariffs and the economy drama are a good thing. Trump said it's like a patient who goes through surgery. You're hurt afterwards. You're hurt. You can barely function afterwards, but you're better for it. You'll be better for it. And I'm with that. I know nothing about what's really going on, but that's my sense. You know, you can corner me on this stuff, and I'll be like, I don't know. These people talking like they know. I shake my head. Like Anchor Baby was saying, everybody acts like they know what's going on, like they're economic experts. Please, even the economic experts are evil, not to be trusted. Israel is getting smeared. You guys love Israel? We all love Israel, right? By the evil UN. The UN founded Israel, and now they're turning on Israel. They founded Israel, and they're turning on Israel. They probably didn't even found Israel right. Who knows? But they're turning on Israel not in the right way either. You know, Israel cut off humanitarian supplies to the Gaza Strip about a month back. Without that much-needed aid, which is to say sort of war welfare, it's not exactly war welfare in the sense that Ukraine has been getting war welfare, meaning weapons, but it's helping the civilians survive during this war. The living situation of 2 million civilians who are in that area still has rapidly deteriorated. I don't envy them. In the past few weeks, they renewed bombing, claimed hundreds of lives, terrible, displaced more than 280,000 people per the far-left extremist evil UN officials. Not that the officials are evil necessarily, but the UN is evil. Far-left extremists, just, oof, no good. Without access to food, fuel, clean water, hunger in Gaza worsening. You like how I say Gaza? Could lead to famine. A lack of basic infrastructure and sanitation spark outbreaks of disease. The UN and other aid groups have accused Israel of violating international law by blocking the flow of aid into Gaza, using starvation as a weapon of war. Which it is. It is, right? Or no? Is it not a justified weapon of war? I mean, it sounds terrible, right? But so is regular killing. On Sunday, Israel announced they would continue to withhold aid to pressure Hamas into releasing more hostages and would impose new conditions on the extension of the ceasefire agreement. So what a mess. Hopefully Trump can make them work something out. Bibi, Trump, and the Hamas people. Pardon me for the excess H sound. So Israel's getting smeared. Oh, you know what? By the way, this was... Where's the thing that I saw? Oh, let me show you. Trump bombed the Houthis. This is sort of related. Did I reply? I forget. Oh. Yeah, no, I have it here. I should have it here. Okay. I'll find it right here. Trump bombed the Houthis, and he tweeted about it. I might have gotten it from here. Yeah. Oops, not that one. Pardon me. So here's Trump bombing the Houthis. You know how the Houthi rebels been doing little attacks on like boats and things? Well, this looks like it's on land. Donald Trump posted, these Houthi rebels in like Yemen, right? Gathered for instructions on an attack, he posted on Friday, I believe, the 4th. Oops, there will be no attack by these Houthis. They will never sink our ships again. And cover your eyes, faint of heart, people, because you're about to witness a bombing if you keep on watching. These are people, and they got bombed. Terrible. So we're looking at overhead footage. I don't know I guess it's a drone. And then boom, explosion. Terrible. And it leaves like a crater and just mess. And it took them out. And according to Trump, those were Houthis who were planning an attack. You see that? That crater and stuff? Woo. Terrible, huh? And so people are saying, what the U.S. claims to be a gathering of Houthi terrorists, this guy says, don't harass him. And then he shows this. It looks like a similar situation, right? They're gathered in a big old rectangle. A celebratory Yemeni tribe. Hey, remember Yemen? My friend from Yemen who came to America at 8 years old, Omar. But anyway, a celebratory Yemeni tribe gathering on the day of Eid al-Fitr, which I think is a Muslim holiday thing. So this is just a innocent tribe gathering for their little thing. And the implication, he seems to be hinting that this is not actually Houthi terrorists, but actually innocent guys just gathered. But just because they're organized in this similar situation doesn't mean that it's the same situation. And this guy says the photo is from, that photo that you're using is from 2019, R word. And indeed, It does say something. That post in a mirror image been from 2019. So they're trying to pretend like Trump is committing some war crime when in reality he didn't. At least not that I can tell. There was not a mistaken identity or a, oh, we'll just call them terrorists. No, they may really have been bad guys who lived by the sword and died by the sword. Maybe. Terrible though, huh? Whew, you never know what's really going on. What a mess. And Trump is not like one of these warmonger guys who gets all drone happy, I don't think. He does justified droning, I think. My impression. He's not like Obama where he's like, I'm getting pretty good at droning. You remember hearing about that? He purportedly said, according to some quote, Obama reportedly said, I'm getting good at droning. Obama, I'm getting good at droning. Really good at droning. Obama brags. Really good at killing people. The liberals didn't like him for that. The communists, the hippies, shout out. Which is funny because the commies are all about killing. They love aborsh. They love all kinds of mess. So it's not like they're full of love. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. Trump, I heard that somebody said, you know what I mean, jelly bean, by accident. Trump looked rather happy about that. Hey, well, I don't know. We don't even know if he did this. But anyway, Trump is not like a warmonger. He is a man of peace. But sometimes you just gotta put the smack down. And those guys were disrupting all kinds of stuff. They will never sink our ships again. You gotta stop the bullies. They're bullying. I don't like that word, bullies. Okay. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Callers, hang tight. Hang tight. Rika is the best droner, says, whatever. Rika does droning himself, he says. They say. No. Okay, so that's that for that item. Speaking of violence, let me show you these liberals. Sir James K. Nice name. You know he's English. Said, hey, Hake, can you or Jesse please cover the following? I saw it this morning. And I'm like, what is this? And it is mess. Check this out. Which is worse, a pro-life activist
killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
Watch out! What? Evil. This is... That's the streets of New York, and this gal, mildly attractive. Whoa! Did she really say that? I paused it at just a bad point. This gal, maybe like a black Hispanic gal, light skinned, somewhat. Getting all mad on an overcast day in beautiful New York. Punched a girl out. New York Post posted this on a IG. Ouch! A pro-life activist in New York City sucker punched in the face. Got sucker punched in the face while doing a street interview about aborsh, leaving her bloodied and requiring stitches. Woo! New York Post posted that about a day ago. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. We're at the bottom of the hour, bottom of the first hour already. Where's your... I don't see any link. Oh. This is probably old news. I'm afraid to click this. No, I don't want to click your links. New York Post. Anyway, this woman, the point wasn't the article, whatever happened. These gals yapping about something that they shouldn't even have a say in, which is to say aborsh. Hey, finally somebody says something reasonable here. Ms. LaRue, 211, don't harass her, just because she's saying something right. I did not see the entire interview, but y'all need to understand you cannot just go around assaulting people because of the words they say to you. She should have just walked off. Now she could be possibly facing charges. Hopefully she does face charges. Because check this out. Look at this girl all bloodier than the face. She's crying. Watch, you'll see her face in a second.
She just punched me in the face. We were just doing a street interview with my camera, and everything was fine for over 20 minutes or however long we were filming, and then she just punched me in the face.
Oh, bloodied. Oh, pretty girl,
I'm
too.
not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the
What? What are you talking about? Oh. So I haven't seen the whole interview, but I could imagine, a lot of times the pro-abortion people will bring up, these babies would end up in foster care, which is a terrible situation. These unwanted babies would end up abused if they were to survive. And that's worse. We might as well abort them. Maybe was something that was, so this lady's putting words in the girl's mouth. And she gets offended. She said, that's not the point. And then she punches her.
point. What I'm saying.
That's really...
What? Terrible, huh? Wow, beautiful. Look at beautiful New York with these beautiful apartment buildings. On the outside. She literally said, that's my blank.
Oh my God.
Crying.
She just punched me in the face. We were just doing a street interview with my camera, and everything was fine for over 20 minutes or
Was she talking to the same girl 20 minutes?
however long we were filming, and then she just punched me
Or did she go to different people?
in the face.
Do I recognize that gal? That's nasty.
I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies and
See, she has her glasses on. Slightly bleached hair. The curly, kind of curly kinks, Oh, cute. And dressed relatively modestly. That's a bit of a scooping, what is that thing? Neckline. A plunging neckline, young lady.
in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really...
Not as attractive. Terrible, but still mildly attractive. Could have been fine, but that's just ridiculous. Did multiple punches. And these gals, they're encouraged to be violent. And it's not justified violence. That was over nothing. Just because the woman is being a little obnoxious. It's kind of like, it's a spiritual needling, perhaps you could call it. And, and you get punched. It's kind of like DV, domestic violence. The woman spiritually, verbally needling, nagging. And the man overreacts. The male overreacts. It's not a man. Men don't overreact. Although, as what's his name, Sean Connery did say, sometimes she just won't drop it, and it would be a justified, not like that, a justified, little wake up slap. I didn't love that, said Barbara Walters, I think. to Sean Connery years back? Beautiful Sean Connery, rest in peace. In heaven with Barbara Walters, perhaps. I have some of these. And then hang tight, callers. 1-888-775-3773. Why did you trim down this clip so much? You went straight to views and engagement, I see. This ain't fair and balanced reporting, homie. Tisk, tisk. Or somebody crying, somebody saying boo-hoo. Crying. Is that from crying laughing? These blacks are just used to violence. This is what finding out looks like, says this one person. Don't harass them. You need more of this. Long overdue on collection, to be honest. Look at this. Ooh, that looks like a purportedly white person. Good for her. Good for her how? I smell assault charges. Don't matter what she said or where she is. That's right. See, every now and then there's a sensible person, but many of them, somebody says, update, dox the name of this purported suspect, admitted she was wrong for punching, dox the name of the purported victim, I guess. Somebody said, admitted she was wrong for punching. Well, good. Nice. That was not a sucker punch. An activist is being used. I think that's a sucker punch because it was unexpected. You're having a conversation, albeit a bratty, B-wordy conversation about killing the babies in the womb. The activist is being used really irresponsibly. Activism requires more than verbal harassment. Harassment? That's not harassment. If you're in a conversation, that's not harassment. You're using the word harassment or harassment in a very woman way, young lady, mildly attractive lady, more than mildly attractive, pretty gal. And viral videos. This ambush interview tactic is getting old. Glad y'all are starting to catch hands for it, says this person. What? It's not an ambush interview. This is not even a person who's, I don't know. Oh yeah, look at this person. This person wrote a whole AI book. There's nuance to these scenarios that needs to be recognized. The world is different because of social media, indeed. No longer are we able to have these intense interactions and they stay on the street. Even legitimate interviews back in the day had a limited life in the media, whatever that means. Blah, 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 blah. And then this guy says, the Charlie Kirks, Ben Shapiro's, Tucker Carlson's, and their ilk have set the scene. Integrity and honesty does not exist. What? Oh, Lord, come on. These interviewer people abuse their power and do not fear consequences. What are you talking about? It sounds like he's justifying violence. Very content with making other people's lives uncomfortable or worse. That's people. That's always been the case, man. Just disagreeing with these people when cameras are rolling is a risk. Your personal safety, reputation, job, and family and friends can be made targets. Yeah, true, indeed. Yeah, people are evil. Was it right to punch her? No. Deserved? Yes. What? Deserved? As long as these types feel comfortable avoiding consequences while rage baiting. What? This looks like a commie to me. And social assault are unrecognized for the threat and actual harm they represent. This guy looks like he wants to clamp down on freedom of speech and justify violence. They'll continue to abuse their quote-unquote rights at the expense of others for their personal benefit. What a psycho, huh? You didn't make sense. Sounds like an AI anyway. Street interview, street results. That's what you get. We don't feel sorry for you. Take the video to the police and have them put a warrant for arrest finally. That's not right. Thank you, Griswold Lopez. Y'all really got to read the room. So people are so angry and evil, not pro-life, just anti-abortion. They get mad when you call it pro-life. And the liberal media has started calling it anti-abortion because pro-lifers are for the death penalty for the most part. And death penalty is good for life, actually, because it makes people think twice, hopefully, especially if it happens quickly before killing or raping or whatever. That's what happens when you talk spicy to a New Yorker. Just these evil, overwhelming degenerates. Stay away from IG comments. I made sure not to reply to anybody. I've learned my lesson. I'm not replying to anybody on social media except somewhat cheerful and or kissing up. If I ran into AOC, I'd be like, I love you. Imagine. Terrible. Hake is a mama. Indeed. So that's a mess. 888-77-JESSE is the number. 1-888-775-3773. And I used to go right into those comments and reply to people. I still sometimes do, you know. Mainly when it has to do with, like, if I'm on somebody else's show and they comment about me, and I'll respond because it's just, you know, kind of fun. It might not be, in general, it's wise to keep your mouth shut. Thank you, sir. James K. Big black British conservative. Nice. I think I'm roughly as strong as him. James K. Thank you, man. Oh, that's a cartoon. I could draw a cartoon of myself looking all... I think it's a cartoon. Looking all huge. No, I can't. I can't even cartoon Hake. All massive. Oh, you know what's sad? Not good? These seals, they say that they call them sea lions. I guess that's what they are. Sea lions. Been washing up dead or sick on Southern California's coastline. And it's been happening for years now. Sea lions attacking people on the waters off the California coast. And it looks like a seal to me. We'll have to get to the bottom of that later. Here's why. It's because they're basically kind of, you know how a rabid dog, or a dog that has rabies, is very aggressive? Or maybe a squirrel? Stay away from squirrels. Scary. I've seen a squirrel just attack a guy's face. It's because they can't keep water down. They can't drink water. I saw a guy who got rabies, purportedly. Stranded California sea lion suffering from suspected domoic acid poisoning cranes its head on the beach before being rescued. I mean, seals come up on the beach and they go back out. Rescued. But sometimes because seals can act, you know, they breathe air. They're okay. I don't know. Let me just read this report. This toxin, algal bloom is how they're spelling it. ALGAL bloom. Red tide, also known as that. Naturally present in the Pacific Ocean. They say human-caused climate change. Got to shoehorn that in there. Upwelling, whatever that is, and land development, feeding the outsized blooms. It's a neurotoxin. Neurological toxin gets in the sea lion's food supply, causes them to suffer from domoic and toxicosis, causes seizures, difficulty breathing, aggressive or scared behavior. The seals that I've seen have been either just out of it or dead. Cover your eyes again, kids, because this is sad. Shall I show you the gross one? Cover your eyes right now. Right now. Cover them up. Cover them. I'm warning you. Oh! nasty. Remember this? This was from my beach stream. Keep them covered. Keep them covered. Nasty. This is seal skull. Ugh. Kind of, but kind of cool, actually. Beautiful and ugly at the same time. Those of you who like disturbing music and disturbing imagery, look at this don't look, but this degraded, messed up skin that's dead, flesh and bones sticking out of its, where its fins are. Well, look, his fins have bones. Of course they do. Man. Blech. Remember I spent all those minutes on it on one of my beach streams? This is from my beach stream. I guess I took a screenshot. Yeah, I must have. The vultures were getting them. The vultures, literal vultures, picking at him or her. Rest in peace. He's in heaven now. This seal went to. If seals go to heaven, I don't know. I was told actually that animals don't go to heaven or hell. Take it up with my mother. I don't know who told me that. This is in beautiful San Onofre. And I don't know, maybe it didn't have anything to do with the situation, but this was the other year that happened. But I had taken a screenshot of this article from September 2023. Popular beach got closed for 7 years to protect vulnerable sea lions. So reported the SF Gate. And look, these are seals. Tourists who visit La Jolla Beach in San Diego, California, can get too close to take photos with the sea lions, which put their habitat and tranquility at risk. Yeah, you don't want to like tap on the glass and disturb the animals. La Jolla Beach in San Diego, known for its beauty and rugged rocks, but I guess it's getting closed for 7 years. Wow. We can't even go to our own beaches because of whatever. Here's a bunch of seals on a dock over in Marina del Rey. You know, this boardwalk type of dock thing? It's actually a boat dock. It's not at the... whatever. Look at this. Oh, come on. You're really going to... What? Hang on. Okay. Sorry about that. Hang on. Complicated business. How do I drag it over to you? I'm such a boomer. Now, these seals are maybe okay. They're just hanging out. Let me play that again for you. Look how pretty. Now you see why I love LA. Look at that. This is like sunset last year sometime. Look at all those seals. Or sea lions. What? Oh, never mind. Pretty, huh? I wonder if it's gonna let me shift over. Wow, look at the boat traveling. So idyllic. Is that the word? Hang on, guys, hang on. Now this one is the sad one. Remember this one? Oh no, I hadn't shown you this, had I? Maybe I did. Look, this seal was in Santa Monica. I went and told the lifeguard, you know, I'm white. And this guy has his phone right in his face. And he's just waffling around. At first I thought he was dead because he was just relaxed, just washing up and down on the water. But no, he's relaxing because he was sick. I'm like, hey, there's a dead seal. See him? He's just rolling. Poor seal. Cute thing. Here's that sick seal that you saw in Sacred Cove when I sometimes show it. Look at a beautiful brown seal. I call it a seal. Look at that look at that cave back there. Water goes through there. You see it in the footage of Sacred Cove. You can't go down there anymore. But there's fishermen over here. fishermen, Asian and Latino. There's that 6 seal in Santa Monica. Look at the pretty skin. It's so much prettier when it's alive. And he has his whiskers. But they want to blame climate change and the land development and upwelling, whatever that is. It's not as pretty as it's definitely prettier than that. Ugh. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't really tell you when you can open your eyes, but you're done. You're done. Also, dolphins have been washing up. The sea lions can be rehabilitated. Dolphins suffering from this stuff? Usually they're deceased when they strand, but meaning wash up on shore, because dolphins aren't supposed to be on shore. The seals can. The few who are still alive, they have to be euthanized, meaning put to death, put to sleep forever. And they've been attacking people. Real quick. Seals and sea lions, both belonging to the pinniped family, easily differentiated by their ears, flippers, and land locomotion. Seals have small ear openings, stubby flippers, and scoot on their bellies, while sea lions have external ear flaps, larger flippers, and can walk on land using their flippers. Oh. So are they so is CNN like telling it wrong? Are these... Does SoCal have seals or sea lions? Both. Yeah, it has both. I don't know, man. As well as elephant seals, those ugly ones, shout out. Shout out to the elephant seals, but I think you're kind of ugly. But I guess that big old snuffleupagus schnoz is useful for something. Oof. I got to keep it moving, though, guys. That's the little update. That's a little update on the seals. Wow. At long last, let me get to Mitt, a first-timer in Australia. Mitt, are you there?
I'm here, mate. Let me just pause the live because we're about 30 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Properly.
Yep.
I have a totally different theory about the seals, mate. I used to go to sleep about 3 o'clock after Jesse tunes out. It tunes out about 3 and I pass out. But I thought I'm staying up tonight, so I'm watching. I thought I'd call. I like listening to you sometimes. I leave you in the background while I pass out. But I think the Fukushima, how they released all that water that they had, and they could have dealt with it. They could have treated the water, but they released it into the ocean. They said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just release the nuclear Fukushima stuff into the ocean." So there are scientists now who are doing individual studies on some of these seals just to make sure that it has nothing to do with that. What I read was, where was it? I can't even find it now. I don't know, but it was pretty much saying that the water from the Fukushima plant leaked out, and that's what's causing these rabid seals. And what's the ones with the big fangs? What are they called? There's seals. I thought they were the same thing too. Seals and sea
walrus.
lions. I thought the sea lions. A walrus.
Yeah.
A walrus. Okay. I thought the sea lions had the fangs, but a seal and they're very similar. They both have sea in the name.
I know. Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I don't think it's got anything to do with this algae, to be honest with you. That's all I wanted to say. That's the only thing I wanted to add to the... and I'm going to be up all night listening to the discussion, so I just wanted to ring you and say g'day. It's the first time I'm calling you, first time I'm actually been awake listening to you. I always have you on the background as I fall asleep, but after about 3 o'clock I usually get tired.
I can imagine. Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Thank you for helping me find the Jesse's church. It wasn't coming up on my live, and I had to search finding the man Bond on Rebuilding the Man Bond completely into YouTube before it let me find it.
Yeah.
And then I found the church, and it was interesting. Do they always do? It was the first church episode I've watched. Do they always do the let someone talk and then the 5-minute thing? Is that a normal platform for the church?
Not always. Every now and then
Oh,
he'll
okay,
do.
cool,
Every now and
cool.
then he'll do that. He'll like have
Because
somebody.
it was different. I was like, yeah, okay. I love all his content, but that wasn't as exciting as most of his content. Like the content I watched just then, I completely loved.
Yeah.
And the church, I wasn't as much into, but that's probably just me not being as Christian as most people.
That's
But
funny.
I love you and love Jesse, and I just wanted to say g'day and love from Australia. And don't believe what they tell you about these sea lions, mate. You know, look into it deeper and, you know, question everything is what I want to say. And lots of love from Australia.
Fair point, man. I appreciate you getting in. Mitt in Australia.
Thank you, mate.
All right.
Thank you for letting me on. Lots
Yeah.
of love.
All right. Take care.
See you.
Bye. Oops. Yeah. Church with Jesse Lee Peterson. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. Oh, sorry. I was trying to get his volume right. But sometimes it would get loud. It would get loud a little bit. You know, we're near the top of the hour. I don't know what's really causing those seals to have the rough situation, but it is a mess. Pray for the seals. It's terrible. I have super chats to read, coffees to read. Let me double check over on the Streamlabs. Oh yeah, Gregatron sent me a tip. Very nice. I'm live on multiple, as you know, platforms. Rumble crew. Is it me or am I not? How's my Rumble going? What's up, guys? Let me make sure it's going well. Oh no. My Rumble, I think it started a whole new stream. Okay. Glad I found it. Terrible. Look at that. Hey guys. There you are. Don't ask me why it did that. Oh, I gotta watch out for the chat. The people have a little bit more freedom of speech on Rumble sometimes, and that's not always a good thing to read for the kids, you know. Popcorn's Thump Keg stated, I always find the segregation commentary to be pretty humorous because it always implodes when the actual policy conversation happens. That's when things get disjointed. No different from the forced integration, honestly. Because, you know, you're going to have to force somebody to do something. I don't know if you agree with Jesse's implementation, but I know that you, like Jesse, support segregation. Yeah, freedom, free association, the freedom to segregate, the freedom for local communities to self-determine, not forced to integrate by this evil state or the evil federal government or the evil county, let's say. I think you're for it in a different way, though, perhaps. Jesse suggested to a caller today that black people wouldn't be able to sue white people for discrimination or otherwise. Yeah, I'm against suing for anti-discrimination. Get rid of all the anti-discrimination laws. Because they would have their own laws in area, and black people wouldn't even be allowed in the white areas, and vice versa. When asked how the notion aligns with it, not being about color, but the spirit, he says, oh, blacks and whites would naturally come together, indeed. Kind of hard to do that when you're suggesting the law not allow blacks and whites to work or live in the same areas. It just goes off the rails from there, claims Popcorn's Thump Cake. If you want X-only businesses, which I'm against, my opinion is that you make the store owners register as such and put a sign in the window. That way black people, for example, can't be gaslit into thinking the shop owner had no issue with him or her being in the store. It was just them imagining it. Put it on paper so that it's black and white. Otherwise, the ones who don't want X people in their store can run over and go, oh no, we don't allow anyone to shop here. Have it documented so there is no mistake. No, I'm not for that, man. That's too controlling. Let people discriminate any day, any way that they like. Because in reality, you allow discrimination, there will be businesses that start openly discriminating against problem people or the people from whom the problem often comes. But many will not be very discriminatory. It's not like they're going to all of a sudden like exclude all the blacks. They're going to allow some blacks in because there's going to be like sensible seeming ones. That's what that naturally thing comes in. But it's unnatural right now because you can get sued for anti-discrimination to justify the, to enforce the evil anti-discrimination laws. It's ridiculous. Government meddling. And, you know, neighborhoods used to be, they're naturally pretty segregated in many ways, but the upscale ones, in the suburbs and then the hood, it's segregated by like who can afford on some level. But it's a big mess. The white kids going to the black schools. For generations, white kids been getting beat up by blacks, and some of them grow up to be dumb liberals, the whites. Terrible. Ridiculous. Talk about embracing your abuser. It is an interesting idea. Definitely like I said, the anti-discrimination laws, they're not a good thing. It is encouraging more division, honestly, and more resentment, and more suspicion. It's evil. Thank you, Popcorn's Thump Cake. I don't know if he had a question. Yeah, I'd missed it, even though I'd seen it. Terrible. Thank you, Popcorn. Yeah, I'm for there is a basic right to discriminate. And that right is lost, is no more in America. And it's not good. Forcing people to put up signs and stuff like that? No, man. It is good to be upfront. People are dishonest. But let them be dishonest. Like, you don't have a choice but to let them be dishonest. They're going to be dishonest. So that's that segregation one. Over on, also from Friday, Hake, do you believe secular culture? 5 coffees from John. Is secular culture a disinformation campaign created by the CIA by chance? Or did we get a thrill from our hell and create secular culture? I was at the movie theater, and when I watch movies, I always presume it has been tampered with. By what, the CIA, John? Is that what you mean? It is interesting, John, that Hollywood, degenerate, mainstream media, degenerate, are from a totally different culture. Kind of, I would say, anti-American. But it is also, in a sense, very in America, born and raised in America in many cases. That culture. Very unchristian, very anti-Christian, very secularist, anti-God. We're trying to ignore God. I don't know where you get CIA. I'm not that familiar with the CIA conspiracies, what they have conspired to do or allegedly conspired to do. I know the CIA has done things outside the country, but I wouldn't put it past them to do things inside the country. I learned that the FBI and all them, liberals, lamos, just They're just dummies like you and me. Or dummies like me, except they don't agree with me. They're on the other end. They're like a anti-Trump Russia drama accusation stuff. It's a mess. I don't really presume that these movies are tampered with by the government. They don't have to be. The activist culture that dominates Hollywood and stuff is trying to push and push and push their own personal evil agendas and their political evil agendas. That's what they believe. That's their religion. And some of it falls flat, and some of it is convincing, and some of it you swallow and don't even realize. John, interesting. I wouldn't put anything past the government, I guess, but you don't need the government for liberals to corrupt the people. At this point, just call me Mike bought a coffee after slamming Jaime. He said, I still love you, Jaime, or Jamie. Jaime, don't worry. Well, I don't love you, but I appreciate you, Jaime. Because he bashed Jaime over supplements, when in reality, eating not too much and getting plenty of exercise is like the lion's share of health. Along with, of course, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, getting a little sunshine, things of that nature. Because Jaime on Friday was pushing Supps. And maybe even something to get your testosterone back up, which I think is supplements. But thank you, Jaime, and thank you, Mike, and thank you for the coffee. At this point, just call me Mike and John. Cool super chats, guys. Gregatron, look at this. Gregatron bought a tip. Watch this when you get off work. And he's in this short, he's bashing. Well, I don't know what he's doing, but it has this guy, the goofy Afro guy. So I'm gonna have to check that out, man. Gregatron, appreciate that tip. Always. 1-888-775-3773. It's more efficient when I check. Man, that's a shame. Why? At what point did this thing conk out? Oh, did it just not go live and it went live on something else? Yeah, apparently. Wait a minute. Yeah, it just, that's weird. Let me go in and just delete that one. Over on the Rumble crew. So that means that my Rumble thing is kind of wrong. Here, let me switch that around because it's obnoxious. I can't super chat crying emoji, says Lin Yen Chin. They messed me up, Hake. Yeah, that's not good. What's up, Quartus? Thanks for the support. Man, oh man. Let me just update that thing over on my blog post for you guys, because that's not right. It's not. Do. Real quick. Okay. You know, there are supposed Trump supporters who are getting doged, and I'm actually kind of for it. It's exposing them as not faithful. These women. I shake my head. Let's see. Doge. I expected better from you. I really did. So claimed supposed MAGA voter Jennifer Pigot's message to our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, after DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, eliminated her government job. Government jobs, usually not as necessary as you think. You know how you feel like you're necessary? You're not. This was from Commie Nonsense Network updates from a little ways back, Friday, the 28th of March. And here's this gal. Doge job cuts bring pain to the Trump heartland, so claims Reuters. And let me just turn this down a bit before I play this video here. I think I can.
Jennifer Pigott voted for Trump in the November election. Then in February, she was fired from her civil service job.
Absolutely, I feel a little bit betrayed.
She was among...
You are the one betraying, woman. You're the one betraying. You feel betrayed because you are a betrayer, I say. Because she's talking to the media, this purported Trump supporter. You saw her with a flag, with her Trump flag. Make America, take America back. Trump 2024. And she's from West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Far left Reuters is reporting this from March 8th, a month ago, 2025.
November election. Then in February, she was fired from her civil service job.
Absolutely, I feel a little bit betrayed.
She was
civil service. Among more than
125 people dismissed last month from the Treasury Department's Bureau of Fiscal Service in Parkersburg, West Virginia.
There's always that back and forth conversation now. Like, you knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives.
And now they're protesting with the communists. Look at this communist fist. Save the civil service. Save the country. This woman, mildly attractive gal, protect local jobs, government jobs. It's not even like real, valuable jobs. They're just a drain. Democracy is not for sale. Save social service. All these women. I shake my head.
No kings, no tyrants.
No tyrants? You're for tyrants. You're for a government full of tyrants. The only immigrant taking our job, Elon Musk, says this fat lumberjack guy. Shout out. I don't know if he's a lumberjack. Real lumberjacks are out there knocking down lumber.
Cuts have shaken up a community that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. He won West Virginia with 70% of the vote.
Look at this lame-o with his wife, purportedly. You know, cute-looking couple, but they're just liberal lame-os. Follow the rule of law. We need faith, hope, love, democracy. Not fear, not... Here, let me turn this off for a second. Oh, come on. Let me just turn it off for a second. Hate, not lies. Not something else. Dictatorship. Oh, come on. Well, we need faith, hope, and love and democracy. It's a dumb woman with a dumb sign with your fake love, and then this silly-looking man, dude, person talking about follow the rule of law. That's what Trump brought back.
He won West Virginia with 70% of the vote.
Look at her, old lady, short hair. Shout out to the old ladies with short hair, but you find out she's a liberal and you're not surprised. Standing there in front of her husband, she's supposed to be behind him and not holding any signs, or maybe holding a sign, but a dainty, godly one, not a fake. Anyway.
70% of the vote, one of his biggest victories. But the betrayal felt by Pigott, a church-going conservative and
scum of the earth, and three-time Trump voter, a church-going conservative with her American flag, just on the outside looks all beautiful and patriotic, but the inside it's rotting, and she's felt betrayal because she is the one betraying. These women, they feel so betrayed, they betray. They're not loyal, and she's proven it. talking to the evil media about our greatest president because she was being selfish for her job. Get another job, lady. You're still young and able-bodied and pretty, by the way.
Three-time Trump voter comes as political analysts are examining early signs of a possible backlash in
Republican strongholds like Parkersburg. Look at all these women. It's a whole other different woman. Pretty church, I guess.
Republican strongholds like Parkersburg,
Degenerate.
where the government slashing efforts.
Stop President Musk. You notice it's mostly women and then liberal-looking males. He lied. What does it say? Project 2025 is real. Wake up. Look, it says solidarity, communist buzzword. Rest in peace, middle class. Yes, get rid of the evil middle class. I don't like this class mess. All your class talk. Get out of here, you commie. Ridiculous.
Of Trump and Doge are
it's too musky. And look, resist, communist fist. Those are not Republicans.
Beginning to hit home.
Elon.
Look, they're slapping their bongos. You're not supposed to use a stick on the bongo. Is that a bongo? You're supposed to use your hands on a bongo, lady. Now I'm just nitpicking.
Musk has basically taken over our government and has...
He looks like he should know better. Look at this Chad.
Musk has basically taken over our government and has calling the shots, unfortunately, it seems to be.
A handful of Republican voters
calling the shots. He's getting rid of the bunch of government waste and fraud. And you've been mooching off of the waste and fraud, you government so-called workers. A handful of Republican voters who lost their federal jobs joined Democrats at a recent anti-Doge protest. Oh, okay, so it's just a handful.
Who lost their federal job.
Going with the crowd, sickos.
Joined Democrats at a recent anti-Doge protest near the Bureau of Fiscal Service offices in Parkersburg. But the federal job losses in the state could soon extend beyond the BFS building, says West Virginia University economics.
You see that black gal with the tiny, close cropped short hair and the mask-wearing people.
Building, says West Virginia University economics professor John Deskins.
West Virginia is at the very top of the states in terms of the federal workforce as a share of total workforce in the state. So if the federal layoffs happen, if they hit West Virginia, we stand to suffer a disproportionate share when those jobs disappear, when that income disappears.
I wonder if he's paid by the government being a professor guy. Looking all, he looks like Hake. Anyway.
Disappears when that spin.
That's crazy that West Virginia, it makes sense though, I guess, because it's right near the swamp, so they would get swamp jobs.
Leaves the state economy.
But in Reuters interviews with 36 workers, business owners, and politicians in Parkersburg, nearly all said that Trump's focus on cutting government spending was a worthy goal.
Yep.
And Reuters ipso.
Thank you. It is a worthy goal. Cutting government spending. Cut taxes, cut spending, increase the tariffs, get things right.
Polling shows Americans' attitude toward Trump are so far essentially unchanged since he began firing federal workers in February.
Nice.
As of this week, his approval rating was holding steady at 44%.
Nice.
Cutting costs and waste and fraud and. We love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, we were excited about that because it is true. But
where's her husband? Is she married? Something like that. What does it say? Oh, no, that's her dad. Dad, of all the walks we've taken together. What does it say? This one is my favorite. 2023, she got married. Anyway. They're trying to show off, like, look, this woman is human.
Again, I can't help but go back to the fact that what is the decisions that you're making right now solving in the big picture? It just, so the concept of voting for that again, voting for Elon Musk essentially to wreck people's lives, I can't do it.
Wow, what an evil woman. Her jaw is squarer than Hake's. Lucky. That's not luck. That's fitness, maybe. Wow, what an evil woman. You'll notice she didn't say what she did that was so valuable. She didn't say, I'm needed. No, she's just talking about herself, and now she has to get a different job.
The economic...
He lied. Oh, no, I already read that one. Project 2025. Look at this grown adult-looking man-looking male almost. Being a lame-o. What is that, Desert Storm cover thingy? Oh, Lord. What did I just do? Hopefully it goes away.
The economic impact of the mass dismissals across America may not be immediately felt. So far,
no kings in America. You're picky. You're just mad because Trump is the actual ultra king boss man.
Across America may not be immediately.
Mountaineers, Buckeyes are not deep state. I don't know what that means.
Felt. So far, 100,000 government workers have been fired or taken a buyout.
Wait, what did he say? Oh, they took a buyout. That's nice. How many millions of people are there in the government? Doge is lying, so they claim. Waste, fraud, and abuse, $3 billion oil and gas subsidies, $2 trillion defense contracts for one something. Federal workforce. These people.
Workers have been fired or taken a buyout. Parkersburg is bracing for another round of layoffs, with all government agencies ordered.
Look, she has her pink evil hat. Women's March type mask. Type hat. Pro-abortion rally, anti-Trump.
Make plans.
Anti-man.
Plans to cut career staff by
Look at
March
that commie.
13th.
Lord. So, yes, it's necessary pain. And honestly, it's sometimes for the better when you lose your job and have to find something else. It's for the better. But no, this woman had no faith, no loyalty. She felt betrayed, and she's the one betraying. How is he betraying when they knew they were for the evil federal government downsizing? That means you too sometimes. You know who have disproportionate government jobs? Blacks. Shout out to the blacks. "47-year-old gal talking about devastation. As much as I think Trump is doing wonderful things for the country in some regards, I don't understand this at all," she pretends to say. She pretends to believe, not to understand. What an evil woman. Of course you understand it. Working at Bureau of Financial Services, something like that, for 5 years, recently been promoted. It made her a target. Wow. Firing thousands of probationary federal workers. New hires, but also existing workers moving from one internal position to another. Ah, interesting. Sometimes you got to cut the fat, and if you're a good worker, maybe we bring you back. But it doesn't seem like she's a good worker. She's a church-going conservative, 3-time Trump voter, now betraying him. Never trust a Trump supporter. Never trust a church-going conservative. They're no better than the commie, atheist, CIA feds. Oh, I'm not supposed to laugh. A White House spokesman told Reuters Trump had been given popular mandate to overhaul the federal government and combat waste, fraud, and abuse. Trump edged out his opponent. He dominated her. By 1.5 percentage points in the November contest. Claim they. In what sense? I think he dominated her. The personal financial situation. Are they downplaying his win? The personal financial situation of every American is top of mind for the president, which is why he's working to cut regulations, reshore jobs, bringing jobs back on the shore, our shores rather than overseas, lower taxes, make government more efficient, so said when Harrison Fields. Blah, blah, blah. Isn't that interesting, the projection of this woman? No, I don't want to play that again. Terrible. Terry in Portland, Oregon. How are you doing, Terry?
Oh, I'm good. How are you, Hake?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Well, I had a couple things. First off, I just want to get this out of the way. My name is not whatever.
Who said whatever? Who said whatever? Who
You
called
called me, you read my comment, and you says whatever. And I was like, oh, ouch. And even Seesaw noticed it.
What,
The chat
what day
noticed.
was this?
Today.
Today?
Yeah.
And so you're acting like I called you whatever?
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun for a thrill.
I don't remember calling you whatever. Oh, maybe
you
I
read my
did. Maybe
comment,
I
but
did. I was
didn't see it.
protecting. I might have been protecting your privacy.
Yeah.
And then you doxed yourself
Thanks.
as having said something that I said that somebody said.
Yeah, I said that Frederick LA was the best droner.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, I was giving a shout out to Frederica.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fred. So, but I guess I mainly wanted to talk with you about the protests because I was out and about. When they were
Oh, which
happening
not
here.
these, not the anti-Doge protests, but the hands-off
Yeah.
protests. Same
Oh, is it
same
the
idea,
same
right?
thing? I don't know.
Oh, well, anyway, they're
They all
anti-Trump.
seemed confused, and they didn't like Trump or Musk.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was around that, and I saw people. I didn't see like the full thing, although I was a few blocks away, and I saw like a big mass of people gathering in a park with like signs and whatnot. But then I saw people like walking about with their signs, like it was normal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Then I went on Facebook later, and like all these people I knew from like over the years were attending these marches. And stuff.
Were they communist
or rallies? I don't
communist acquaintances?
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them.
But
yeah.
not all. Some of them
or
are just
liberals
normies.
that I knew. Yeah, some of them were just normal people. I was like, oh dang, people are really into this.
Yeah,
But
I mean it.
I don't know.
On the Jesse Lee Peterson show, I saw that they filled Daily DALEY Square or something in Chicago. Just massive. Anytime you see something that massive, you know it's for something evil.
That's true.
Because the crowd is never right.
I don't know. You brought up the women. That's true. My friend's dad always told her, like, wherever the crowd is going, go in the opposite direction.
Interesting. Or certainly at least don't go along with them.
That's true.
Don't join in with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
That
well,
means trouble.
Anyway, yeah, I thought it was interesting because everybody I know that's worked in like the government has really negative things to say about their coworkers.
Right.
Have you ever met anybody who's worked for any government departments? And I knew this girl who worked for one. I don't really remember what it was because this was years ago, but she was telling me how like all the old timers at her work were basically just coasting and they weren't even there half the time. And they took like massive amounts of vacation and they were like buddy and having people cover their back and like basically like they just weren't doing any work.
That's
But
interesting.
they were impossible to fire because they had all this seniority and stuff. And she was in the meantime like a really hard worker and getting like, treated like badly for it.
I've heard of similar situations in like the school systems. The teachers get tenured, they can't get fired, and they're bums. And then there's every now and then there's somebody who's liberal or conservative trying to do right. Look, this guy has a daily costs hat on, commie, and he's old. Terrible. Anyway, yeah,
Actually,
95-year-old
I had
man.
a teacher like that. Yeah.
You had a liberal teacher who was just
I
really
think I
committed
said
to his job?
Ray.
Say
I
again?
don't know what her politics were, but
Her.
But
Yeah.
in the 5th grade, I had this teacher who was like tenured, and she was gone like most of the year. And then our class ended up getting like out of control because we never had our regular teacher there.
Yeah.
And we had to like get sat down with like a child psychologist that was posing as a substitute teacher. I mean, I think she was a substitute teacher. I shouldn't say she was posing, but yeah. And then like, yeah, our principal came in and we had to be like, we don't have any discipline because we never have the same adult here from week to week or from day to day even. And we aren't on the same page. Like, we're behind. It was ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, those people wreak havoc, you know?
Right.
Being allowed to just coast, you
Yep.
know, when they should retire or, you know, I don't know, just act right.
So then they know that this is right.
Anyway.
What you're saying is like these people,
Mm-hmm.
they know that if Trump doged their coworker, they'd be like, yeah, that's a good doging. But never themselves.
I mean, yeah, but a lot of them are just like covering each other's back.
Right.
So, like, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say this about every circumstance. Maybe it is, you know, some people like getting their departments closed. And like, remember that guy a few weeks back, the ranger guy?
Yeah, the one
I
whom
don't know.
I made
Maybe
fun
he
of
was
him.
a good ranger.
I'm sure he was an okay guy. Like he
Yeah.
was, but it doesn't mean that he should be paid by us, you know? They gotta
and, you know,
fund that some other way
I
or
don't
turn
know.
it into a hobby or whatever. He was getting paid to hang around with
Mhm.
the kids and teach them cool things, being a ranger type of a guy. And it was didn't sound like it was that really necessary of a job, especially not for like the taxpayers to fund it, at least not on a national level. Oh, Michael McBride there.
Yeah.
I think he was on the Jason
Yeah,
Peterson
I don't
show.
know. I think people are just being inflamed against Trump however they can, you
Yeah.
know, and it's fun for them to be angry, and
True.
I don't know.
I definitely
Like-
remember, you know, I've read a few different stories over the months and years of young people, some drama
Mhm.
happening in their high school, and they're all pretending to be upset about it. And they just literally only like the drama.
Mhm.
I remember that happened to me over in high school. One of our coaches got fired.
Yeah.
A couple of our coaches got fired, and it was just drama. A lot of people were doing a strike, like they quit the track team. Like talented running
Mhm.
distance runners, like didn't even show up to the track team. Went to the other coach who got fired, and we're doing training with him after school, which we could do that. But they had a whole
Mhm.
meeting, and it was just drama. And that's all it really was. Nobody needed to be upset.
Mhm.
If we didn't want to be on the team, that's fine. But you're right. People do just like being mad, getting caught up.
Yeah, it's exciting, and it gives them something to do. They get to go out with their friends, and like they get to do something artistic by making a little sign, you know, and what else? Or something clever, you know, they get to put something clever on it.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. I don't know. You know, it's a thrill, and it's good because it does like take a lot of their energy, and then they don't have it for, you know, actually causing any problems. Although I did get kind of annoyed, you know, by seeing the people. And yeah, there were a lot of like old ladies, you know, that were out just being angry, and soy boys with their like, you know, aggressive, you know, girlfriends or wives and stuff like that. It was painful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's unnecessary to work
front lines
yourself
in
up.
Portland seeing that protest.
Now, do you agree with me that
It
Portland
is. There's never a reason to be. Are scumbags?
No, scum of the earth. I don't say scumbags because that's actually inappropriate.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
CJ traumatized me by telling me what it means. But I think that we could have gone on all of our lives not knowing what it means, and the normal people, ordinary people, wouldn't think of it in that way.
I don't really know what it means, but I think I know what it means now.
Right. And it's just
I hadn't
terrible.
really thought about it, but now I have enough sense to kind of put it together. Anyway, I don't think they're the scum of the earth. I mean, some of them are. I mean, definitely the people protesting are, but, there's always a quiet majority.
Interesting. I haven't seen it.
And that's what I put my hope in, the quiet majority.
How very 80s Gen X boomer of you. I can halfway appreciate it and respect it. Because, the quiet majority.
I feel like I'm the most millennial person. But...
Well, the silent majority is a boomer term.
Is it?
Yeah, the quiet majority elected Ronald Reagan, I feel like. Not that I know my history. You know more than I do.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't part of that.
Yeah, the quiet majority in Portland, they're maybe a little bit more sensible. They just want to get to work, but they're still liberal and they support Wheeler or worse. Shout out.
We don't have Wheeler anymore. Nobody liked Wheeler. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, they elected him the first time. Or worse is what but you didn't listen to the or worse. Who's president of Portland now?
Portland?
Mayor.
His name is, Kevin. Oh, what's his name? Dang it.
We've been over this,
Look it up.
Portland.
Or maybe I can look it up. I have a computer. Hold up. Is it
Keith
Kevin?
Wilson? You don't even know
Keith
your own.
Wilson, my bad.
Are you
I didn't
city
vote for him.
You're not city proper that you don't know your own. I mean, I barely remember Karen Bass sometimes. So
I mean, look at him. He's just he looks like a skeleton.
He looks sort of like, he doesn't look that much different. I mean, he looks white and blonde.
Yeah,
just
he's white, thank God.
Wow, your 70% racist is coming out. He does look sort of goofy. That's funny. Shout out.
Yeah, I don't have high hopes for him, but
he, him,
whatever.
Pronouns.
Yep, exactly.
But that's not his
and he's
fault. That's
really
Portland's.
big on he's really big on building more shelters for the homeless. So we'll just have more homeless people getting money from the taxpayer instead of being forced to stop.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, this is look, born and raised in North Portland, this longtime business owner, I respect that aspect of it, is focused on ending unsheltered homelessness. Oh, is Portland where somebody froze to death? I think somebody froze to death.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. In the last big snow dump, we did have somebody freeze to death.
But really, that's their fault, right?
I don't know the exact circumstance, but I mean, yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
They do have warming shelters here when it gets cold, and they do have, outreach people that go ahead of time when extreme weather is being, predicted. They have, if it gets too hot, they have cooling centers, and then they also have, heating centers for people in the extreme weather. I mean, we have mild climate, but occasionally we'll get a dump of snow and it'll fall down,
what a mess.
Below
freezing.
But I mean, I think that person was probably in a circumstance where they ended up homeless, probably due to a series of poor choices. And then they ended up in a position where they were, maybe too far removed from society, or they didn't pay attention to the warnings. It's not as if people aren't in these encampments. There are people that, go in and work with these people regularly and communicate with them, just so I don't know. what happened with that person.
It feels like if we are helping them, we're enabling them. If we're helping them at all.
To a certain degree, yeah. I mean, there's one thing about, like, you know, giving somebody a hand when they're down on their luck, and there's another thing about, like, giving them everything they need to stay where they are.
Yeah.
Which is what the city of Portland does, and what I think LA does, and so many other liberal cities.
Yep. The government should not be doing it.
No, I don't like paying for it, and you know, and then I have to deal with the consequences when I'm like going about, you know, my life. I mean, this weekend, like, obviously there was a protesting, but then Sunday I was going to church, and there was this guy in a, you know, under a tarp, and I saw there was a fire under the tarp.
Yep.
Which was like, okay, that's frightening. And
For real.
then I saw, like, as I was passing by, there was all this, like, produce on the ground,
Yeah.
like on the sidewalk that was under the tarp. And it was all dirty and stuff because, you know, food needs to be not on the ground, on the sidewalk. And, yeah, I think he was smoking meth. So.
That's crazy.
Anyway, probably not appropriate for the kids. Sorry, but it's reality.
It is. It's a mess. Well, it's great hearing from you.
What my tax dollars pay for. So, yeah.
Sick stuff.
Anyway, yeah, thanks for taking my call. But have a good day, Hake.
All right. You as well, Terry. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Maze, beautiful Maze in Dayton, Ohio. Maze, what's up? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm marvelous as always.
Cool.
Oh, what did I call to ask you? How do I phrase this? So, I listened to this Southern strategy that comes out of y'all lips all the time. And do you know what it is?
I've heard of the Southern strategy appealing to the white Democrats or something like that.
No. To fear the black man because we tell you to. Find everything that he does or she does to bring it to attention of the ignorant people. I hear it every day.
Right.
But let's skip the news on us. We don't need to look at what we're doing. We need to just do the Southern strategy to keep the focus. So what do you think about all those people marching Saturday? And why are they upset?
They're just caught up. I don't think much about them. I think that they're just silly. They're silly people.
What's silly about it?
They're not. They have no reason to be upset. Trump is fixing the government. He's taking power. He's taking power away from the government by downsizing, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you think.
Yep. And then he is being very. I think he's as he always has been, being very judicious with the war stuff. So not to fret or worry about the war stuff either. He's not like Biden, Obama, or others who are just
so they're all
weak and bringing war in the world. Yeah, go ahead.
They're in the street for this purpose because of what? Or they're there because they're losing their jobs and the money is going away. That's not why they out.
No, there's no way that all of those people in that crowd lost their jobs. But some of them did lose their jobs, and they want to cry about it. That's not going to do any good. That's dumb.
But what did they use the jobs for? What reason?
Selfishness, money.
Oh, because of the selfishness of money. Whose money?
Our money that was paying them to do nothing.
So maybe
good.
that's why maybe they came to reality is that our money is paying them to do the job that they're not doing.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, so they should get rid of get rid of their government jobs.
But then the Southern strategy would have you not look at that. The Southern strategy would have you looking at what black people are doing.
No, I looked at the.
Oh, yes,
did you notice all those? There was only like a handful of blacks in those.
I'm not saying that. I said the Southern strategy would have you looking at what black people are doing, but not what was out in the street and what they're complaining about.
They're all dumb.
And the welfare baby.
Yeah.
Is busy raking in the dollars. And do you know who the welfare baby is?
Who?
Elon. That's who the welfare baby is. But
No,
would
he's
have-
losing money too. He's
that's
at
a good
great
thing.
at great.
And that's a good thing he's losing money.
Not
Just
necessarily.
like he's making other people lose money. He's
No, but
losing money too.
he's losing money because of terrorism and because of hatred. He's not
No, he's
losing
losing
money
money
because
because-
of downsizing the government.
He's losing money because of the stock market. That's why he's losing money.
No, it's not.
Somebody's buying his stock.
Oh,
so
that's-
if somebody's buying your merchandise, what does it do? Go away. And you got to go out of business.
Oh,
It's
you
just
think,
like my
you think
pillow
he's
man.
going to go out of business?
Eventually, he probably will if he don't sell it.
I don't know.
It's just like my pillow man. What happened to him?
He's doing fine. I think he's still selling his pillows.
He's selling pillows, but not like he was doing in the beginning. So I say when
How do you
evil,
know?
when evil is in
I don't
something,
know. I don't know. I think he's doing okay.
Well, you think so. But when evil is in the mix of something, nothing never going to be right. Haven't figured out. And I have one more thing. All these floods and all these storms and all of these people without homes and water all over the place, who's going to do something about it? Are they going to get any help?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's a crazy situation. People are
No, it's
people
not
are
crazy.
suffering. I mean, it's a rough situation that people
But
are going
Carolina
through.
was when it happened in Carolina. That was a rough situation, but they were screaming for Biden to go give the people some help.
Yeah.
Why we don't hear people screaming now?
I don't know. Maybe we will.
Will when?
I don't
2
know.
months
It
from
just
now?
didn't it just happen these floods just over the weekend?
No, it didn't happen just over the weekend. It's been 2 weeks.
Oh, well, I don't know. They'll be fine.
Okay, I guess they have to go to the golf course and sit there and watch people play golf and wonder when they're going to get some help.
Are the people just supposed to quit playing golf and doing business just because other people
Well,
are suffering?
if you over the country, you should be over doing something or saying something. I don't hear nothing.
What?
It's like cricket.
Whatever.
But
It
we
sounds
want
like
the
you're
Southern
just.
strategy.
Sounds
We want
like
the
you
Southern-
you want to be a victim. You want them to be
I
victims.
don't. I'm not a victim to
No, I know, but
anybody.
you want them to be
You
victims.
want us to be a victim when we're not. You make the victim the Southern strategy.
Whatever.
And that's getting to be boring.
That doesn't make
Like
sense.
Rick, you have people like Rick come on with
Beautiful
the Southern
Rick.
strategy to help along. And so
You're talking about this Southern strategy, pointing out what black people are doing? It's
That's
not
it,
like we
yeah.
don't do some self-reflection, Maze. We look at
Really?
ourselves.
But I'm saying you don't have no self-reflection because if you had self-reflection and looking in the mirror,
Uh-huh.
you see two people in there. You see yourself, and you see yourself twice. But then you only look at black people as an enemy or a criminal or going to come to harm you with the fear in your heart.
But
So
I
when
mean,
you find love
don't
in
they
your-
sometimes do come to harm?
Excuse me? Don't y'all come to harm? Do
No,
your people come to harm?
I asked you first.
Yes, they come to harm, but do your people come to harm?
Sometimes.
You know the sundown towns. What do you think happened to you if you're going through one of them? I
be
mean,
fine.
not you, but somebody that don't look like you.
Oh,
going
come
through one
on.
of
Sundown towns don't really, they
them.
don't do
Sundown
anything
towns,
to you.
They
to
do
you.
exist. They do, really.
Don't you live in a sundown town?
Yes.
Are you out after sunset?
Yes, I am.
Does anything happen to you?
If I go to the wrong neighborhood, it probably will.
Oh, Lord, see, it didn't happen. In other words, no, it hasn't. But if you go to the wrong
Really?
neighborhood,
Really.
you see, you
So that's
just,
not my
you just
point.
want to hold on to that.
No, that's not my point.
That's
I am
your-
going to hold on to it until it disappears.
Leave your northern strategy
So
out
you're
of my
always
life.
talking about you always talking about Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, but the Heritage Foundation need to go along just like y'all think about Jesse and Al and all those. Heritage Foundation need to go too.
I agree because they let a
once you
black
get
woman
rid of-
they let a black woman run Heritage.
Letting who?
Some black liberal woman who supported George Floyd and Black Lives Matter runs Heritage.
Really? And you talk about Black Lives Matter. That's another Southern strategy.
Yeah. Well, Black Lives Matter is evil. You're not even for Black Lives Matter.
You mean to tell me the Black Lives Matter is evil?
Yes.
But you don't tell me all these other people. The Klan is evil, and who else is evil on
The
your
Klan
side?
doesn't exist.
Yes, they do.
Barely.
Real barely. They exist.
Not like BLM.
So now-
they haven't
you
done
wanna
the
talk about-
destruction. They didn't do an
What
insurrection.
does Black Lives Matter do?
Insurrections around the country.
Or what?
Insurrections over the last
What
10
do they
years.
do? What do they do? That's
Destroyed
giving them the
buildings,
strategy.
smeared cops, falsely accused whites of being racist when they're the ones who are racist. They're evil.
Really?
Yeah.
So now, so
And
what
then
is
there's
it?
a bunch of Black Lives Matter supporters and activists who end up committing suicide or stuff. They're miserable. And,
Oh, really?
And
your
fat.
buddy
Shout
your
out.
buddy that was on here that died. What was his name? That was involved with January 6th.
Beautiful.
thought of
The insurrectionists.
What do you call those people?
Oh, mostly peaceful protesters.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to say. You use the Southern strategy, but when it comes to you, you don't have any. You're not looking in that mirror at yourself.
Hey, I didn't go to J6.
You had people that were on here talking to you that went to JC.
Right.
And that's why.
And most of them spent. One of them spent like 30 seconds in the Capitol, and he got like the feds did like a raid on him. It's insane.
All those people that were there was not there for the same reason that those were climbing walls and tearing up stuff.
Right. Not all of them were.
They did inside.
Some were worse than others.
And those was normal people, really.
Yeah, a lot of them were normal, but some of them should not have gotten caught up and gone inside. They should have known better than to follow the crowd. Yeah. It was a big crowd. You got to stay away from the crowd.
What do you think the Proud Boys are?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's what I know.
Beautiful
You're
patriots.
Not looking in the mirror at yourself.
No, I'm not a Proud Boy.
And when you get a thing, if people are doing that freedom of speech.
What's wrong with the Proud Boys?
They want to threaten people. Why do people get threatened?
What's wrong with the Proud Boys?
What?
What's wrong with the Proud Boys?
The same thing that's wrong with Black Lives Matter.
But Proud Boys didn't destroy anything. They don't falsely accuse people of things.
Really?
Not that I'm aware of.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you're looking in the mirror at yourself.
So do you admit that Black Lives Matter is evil?
No, Black Lives Matter are not evil.
So are Proud Boys evil?
Yes.
What? I thought you said this. I thought you said they were the same.
They were trying.
And now you're saying one's evil, not the other.
No.
Get your northern strategy out of my face, man.
I'm looking in the mirror at you. I'm looking in the mirror at me.
Whatever. If you're looking at the mirror at yourself, you call Black Lives Matter evil, but not. But no, you call Black Lives Matter not evil, but Proud Boys evil, even though you said they both have the same thing wrong with them. You're being a silly.
That's what I'm asking
gal.
you. Well, Black Lives Matter didn't try to destroy this country.
Yeah, they did.
The same thing that you see Black Lives Matter. You can see the same thing after a football game. So have you seen them turning over cars, burning stuff, and all this stuff? But you don't think about going to jail for it, do you?
Say again.
Just like when after a football game, if they win, like say Ohio State won a game, they turn over cars, burn up stuff, and all of this over joy.
Yeah, that's terrible. It's ridiculous.
That wasn't a joyful thing. That's what I'm saying. So what did you see Black Lives Matter doing?
Same thing.
What's the difference between
Same
those
thing,
two?
only worse, because they're like...
So the Proud Boys went to the Capitol and tried to destroy it.
No, they didn't.
What did they do to it?
They were
did
trying
they leave it shining like it was when they went in there?
Yeah, I didn't see any Proud Boys destroying property or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you say so. The white nationalists, what you think about them?
Mostly peaceful. They're yeah, they're a little bit angry. It's not good. They're no better than they're no worse or better than you and me, Maze.
But I want you to tell me why you fear black people.
Because they can sometimes get unpredictably or somewhat predictably violent and steal and stuff. That's not good, right?
Oh, black people, only people steal and do that?
No, I didn't say they're the only ones, but that's
you asked me why.
You asked me why I fear them.
So why is this country and the world is upset with this country? They're not upset with nobody but this country, and I don't see a black man nowhere in charge.
Come out. Why are you hiding out?
And so the white nationalists and Black Lives Matter are two different group of people doing two different things.
Right.
One loves the country and the other one don't. I don't think so. They just love their whiteness.
Oh.
So if you get out of your whiteness and you fear the Southern strategy,
Black Lives Matter really loves the country. Lord.
What you say?
You said you kind of seem to be implying that you think Black Lives Matter loves the country.
I'm not whiny. You whiny. It's what I'm saying.
No,
so
I didn't say whiny. You seem to be implying that Black Lives Matter loves the country, and I don't think that's true. No.
They do love the country.
That's silly.
Because they didn't. Do you see them up there trying to destroy anything?
I gotta go, Maze.
Okay. Well, you have a nice one, and you think about it, and tell Rick when he come in, get rid of the Southern strategy. He can make himself better too to try to help you, so he can get rid of your nerves.
Yeah.
That you have a fear of black people.
But
we're not here to harm you. You're harming yourself. All right. Have a good one.
You too, Maze. Beautiful Maze. Come out. I gotta go, guys. John Parfit, Bright Lights, come out. Rick in Hampton, VA, wanted to talk about the positivity of tariffs. I can't do it. Why are you hiding out? Bye, guys. Take care. The rest of the callers, call me tomorrow. Super chatters, I saw you. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.